Hello, it's Nikki and welcome back to part 5. So last week my eldest turned 8 and every year I always say it to my partner, to my family, to anybody who will listen really, like wow, 8 feels really monumental. It feels like a big age. And every year, to be honest, feels like that, I think, when you have children, because you're so in it. And you're in the process of the day to day. And then these birthdays become this marker of like, oh, wow, another full year has gone by. What does this mean? What's this all about? And the last 8 years have been some of my greatest on this planet. But they have also been some of the hardest, not necessarily just related to my child, although having a baby that is very jolly but does not want to sleep definitely takes its toll. But more so that juggle of how you do everything, how you be all things to all people, how you continue to deliver when sometimes you feel like you're running on empty. And I had a moment with my partner where I just said off the cuff, I'm going into my 3rd Olympic season of parenting. So as in every 4 years, I was about to begin the next chapter of 4 years. And it sort of just made me laugh really, because I am not an athlete, clearly. And it was a weird analogy, but it's one that I've stuck with because it really rings true for me. So the first 4 years of his life were very much about, establishing is what I'm going to say. You know, that shock, that change when you have a baby and how you maneuver all of it. And then when he was 3 years, 10 months, I had another baby. So I had my daughter. And again, that next 4 years was about the pandemic, navigating 2 children, stretching into this new capacity of a chapter. And now as I've got to the end of this year, or rather him turning 8, they are now both in school. And that has shifted things a lot in terms of my business, my schedule, how I'm running things. And I'm now asking myself the questions around, what does this next chapter of Olympics, of parenting and life and business mean to me? And to my credit, and this is not usually my kind of default thing, but in this case I did, I really realized how much I knew. Now, not about anybody else's kids, not about how to be the expert of anybody else's family, or I don't know the science bit, but in terms of my own children, because I'm with them every single day, I feel like we found our flow. Again, I'm never going to count my chickens before they hatch, because it's the same with anything. Just when you're like, gosh, I think I'm getting somewhere here. I think like I'm in a good spot. Something will always throw something different at you, of course. But I do feel when I look at all of the days and hours and nights that I've been a parent, I have ultimately figured it out. Very imperfectly a lot of the time, but we found a moment where we could come back to this sense of groundedness and calm and knowing what to do next. And when I look at my children now, they are a boy and a girl, I realize the conversations that we have in our family, and I feel really proud of the fact that we are supportive of each other. And this is something, and this is not toxic positivity or saying that they can't show their emotions, because they definitely do. We all do. But we really give credit where credit is due with our family. So I heard my little one saying to my big one the other day, do your best, or be the best when he was going out to football. Or they both started saying things that, if I do something, they're like, oh, well done, mummy. And it's really, really lovely, because sometimes you can feel like everything is a bit relentless and all the rest of it. And so going back to imposter syndrome and the fact that it is typically something that women associate with more, I am noticing two different children in every sense of the word in my home on a day-to-day basis. And I was thinking about how I would feel if my daughter suddenly didn't do things because she felt like an imposter. And they are now at that stage of 4 and 8 that they love it. And I don't obviously let them go far or do anything dangerous, but I'm really actively encouraging them to do things and do things independently. So I've always been big on this, them having a bit of a system where they can pack their own bags, where we have a sign on our door so they know what they need to take every day. Basically, I don't always want to be that person who everything lands on, because I think that's a lot of pressure is on one person. And also it doesn't help them as well, because again, we've met all of those people in their 20s who can't operate a washing machine. And I'm like, really? Anyway, I am now noticing them doing things. So the other day we were on the way to the supermarket. My daughter needed the loo. And I said, oh, let's see if we can just go in this pub, because it was open. And it was empty, but it was open. And I asked, and they said it was absolutely fine for them to go to the toilet. So they did. And I said to them, go up to the bar, please, and just thank them once again. And so they did. They held hands and they went up. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. It was a really lovely moment. And I was thinking about that dynamic, that if my son, it probably wouldn't be great for him if he always thought he knew right and he was like, had all the answers. But equally, I was thinking about all the opportunities that my daughter would miss out, not only in the moment, but that ripple effect of her life. And so to turn it back to you, enough about pub toilets, to turn it back to you, I want you to think about, on a long-term basis, what is your current state of play costing you? And you can go into into the emotions of your family, the money you might earn, the opportunities that might be available. But one thing that I've often used when I'm making decisions, whether that's investing in myself or trying something new or investing in something else, I will say, what happens a year from now if I don't make any moves on this? And sometimes I let myself go forward again. Like, what will happen 5 years from now if I ignore this? 10 years? What happens? And usually that will give me the nudge of saying to myself, it's time. It's time to do something about this. It is time. So, in terms of your takeaways from this series, what are you going to do? What are you going to explore? And again, you don't have to become a brand new person overnight, but I want you to imagine like a set of shelves, and all of the different things, maybe your limiting beliefs or however you connect with them, are on the shelf. I just want you to take one down, and I want you to explore it, open it, see what's inside. Almost like it's one of those Kilner jars, flip it open, take in the smell. How long's it been in there? What's going on? What's the texture of it? How heavy does it feel? How pungent is it? And really explore it. If you want help with this, I would love to help you. When I work with clients, we're always checking in with these thoughts and feelings. Because yes, strategy, a vision, excitement about big dreams is a wonderful thing. But if there is stuff in your head that is holding you back, if there's a lack of belief or a lack of trust in yourself, if something else is cooking and holding you back, it needs to be looked at. And not necessarily in a big scary way of like, right, you've got to look at it now and again change everything about yourself. Not at all. But even that acknowledgement that it's there and building a conversation and a relationship with it will help you to work with it. As always, you can go straight to my website, nickyraby.com, send me a message via my messenger button or across social media at Nicky Raby. If you've liked this series, you can also buy me a coffee. I will link the link down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye.